How's it going, everybody? My name is Asbiel, and I'm the Guild Master of the Guild of Legends, located in the heart of the multiverse, and this is Minecraft on the HiVECORE server. Zero G, how's it going, man? Well, how do you control this game? Alright, it is. It's really raining, huh? What am I doing? What am I gonna do? I'm gonna continue working on a road. But I need to figure out what I was doing last time. Yeah, yeah, a little bit of rain coming through, but you know, God, it's just raining so much. Um, the stairs upside down in those gaps. I ugh, haven't really thought about it. The main problem I would have, I think, is that the whoops, I fell. Um, unless I expanded the roof to be like matched up with that side, which I honestly don't know why it's not. Um, I would have an issue with the path there. But honestly, I could just get rid of that. Because, I mean, who even uses this anyway? Why does that need to be a thing? Um, yeah, I've got a path that needs building. Or refining. And I'm going to need to set up lights along the way and do some staircases that I have planned. Effectively, anywhere there is an actual elevation change, I figure I'll actually do some stairs. And the path is actually going to be 3 wide, so I'd have to expand on this all the way as well. It's like here, I didn't even do that line. Here, I was actually thinking I would do sort of a bridge from here over to there, so that you're not just like dipping down and then coming back up. And then here, I was going to build a walkway going out a ways, and then with stairs going down over here. It's like the stairs will start here, and then you'll go up to level with the hill, and then have the walkway kind of mesh up with the ground here. So that is the plan for things. Oh, that's not good. Nope, it's not that bad. Could have been worse. So maybe I will start by just widening out the path here, since that is got potion of healing. Since that's kind of a big part of it. Right? The path doesn't go all the way where it should. So I'm going to do as much of that as I can without breaking my shovel. The actual construction elements I will do afterwards. I hear lava, so that's something I'm really inclined to deal with. kind of don't want to have lava just bubbling beneath the pathway, so maybe I'll do something about that. A little off topic. Do you think I should do a homebrew situation and rip off things from Cyberpunk, or use like their lore? Shoot, man, if I was gonna do a Cyberpunk type game, I, I mean, just my way of doing things is always just making my own settings, because then I don't have to worry about getting lore wrong. Like, I always worry that, like, if I'm going to do a game in an existing setting and I don't have everything like laser locked in, then some other, some player's going to show up and have like certain expectations for certain lore elements. Like maybe their character follows a certain deity, or maybe they work with a specific faction or something, and I get something wrong about that faction or that deity or whatever the case might be, and I never want to deal with that. So I always just make my own settings entirely, and then that way I can, like, if I have to improvise lore and stuff like that, I can, and there's not an issue. It's super easy. So for me, I would do like a homebrew thing, and then just use inspiration. Is it? Is it further back here? There it is. So there is still lava deeper down, probably. But it seems like that's enough that you can't hear lava anymore, so even if that's not all of it, that is enough of it. And I'm just gonna go grab a bunch of dirt that I have in a chest to fill that in. I think at some point I want to redo or replace these lightning rods with something else. Some neater way of doing it. These are just kind of like a quick, rough way to make sure nothing caught on fire here. This another part of it is, how dark do you want this game? Like, Cyberpunk's Night City is both an amazing and horrible place to live. Yeah, it's interesting because, yeah, with Night City you definitely get the vibe that, like, it's a terrible place to be, but also like, you still have people there in that world who are like living normal lives, I mean, different from what we might consider normal in our day-to-day, but pretty dang close anyway. So it's like, I thought it was interesting how, like, there is that that feeling that, like, even though it's clearly a terrible place, a terrible world to be in, for the characters present in that world, like, obviously, there's not really a choice. Like they can't just like move somewhere else because everywhere is terrible in that world and stuff like that. But it can still be like people can still be happy and stuff like that. It's not like everything's terrible, everyone is suffering all the time, and because of that, everyone is just 24/7 like depressed and stuff. If you're a high up corpo, you get pretty much all the benefits, but if you're a little man, then you're stuck for the most part, surrounded by crime and some really heinous stuff. Nobody would live there if that was the case. But yeah, like, what am I trying to say? I think I said it. I don't know. I need food. I feel like with cyberpunk as a genre, it wouldn't like a big part of it is like everything sucks, but there's still like moments of what's the word, levity, is that the word I'm looking for, like moments of like joy and goodness and whatnot, even if most things are absolutely awful. But like at its core, cyberpunk as a genre is like some of built on some of like the worst things that could be in a setting. All right, let's continue pathing this path. There goes Zombie Pigman again. This is gonna wear down most of my shovel. At some point I need to go over to Nova Swarm Town, and get another diamond shovel. Or 2 or 3. Yeah, so right now I'm doing a path that's just 3 wide, and then it's just dirt. But I might possibly change it into, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of adjust this terrain a bit. Depending on how I feel after I get everything else sorted, I might change the path itself into an actual, like, paved road. I wonder if I should just cut down this top layer of this hill. It would be a lot of shoveling, but, I think the expectation warning, but as you guys aren't going to be V, be prepared for high-risk encounters at every turn with hard work and a lot of luck required to make it in the world or something. Which is not to say you guys won't have happy moments. It's just that shit sucks. Bad things happen. In Cyberpunk, bad things happen often. Yeah, that's true. I think that's I think as long as the expectations are set beforehand, you know. Um I mean, obviously like things could come up that are problem like issues that weren't expected, but yeah, setting the expectation in advance definitely helps with things. Could also take a bunch of dirt and just kind of level this out a little bit instead of doing the kind of walkway thing I was talking about here. I want to do that here because the terrain is so uneven, it would be a pain to try to like reshape it. But yeah, over here I might be able to get away with it. What if you did a mini bridge? That's kind of what I was thinking initially. Um, that's probably why I didn't end up bothering with changing this out, because this isn't going to be stairs. I completely forgot about that. I didn't want to... Yeah, because this was going to attach to that with, like you said, a mini bridge. So I'm just kind of wasting my time there, because none of this actually needs to be shoveled. This will need to be, though. There's no better lawnmower than a crossbow, obviously. Yeah, and then here I'll do sort of that walkway thing I was talking about before, where it'll come up to the edge there, like the artificial walkway will come up to the edge here, and then have stairs on the far end. And then, did I do the path 3 wide all the way up to Grove then from here? No, I certainly did not. Did I do at least some of it? Okay, yeah, I did it up to here, and then I just kind of stopped here. I want to do it more like that. I also feel like those spots shouldn't be... It's... I think... Maybe... Yeah, that looks pretty decent. Actually, we'll hit that one as well. Good enough. And stairs start here, so none of this actually needs to be done this way. So I might get to undoing this. I really wish there was some better way to do, like, to remove a path. But I'm not aware of any such thing that would be any faster than this. You want to get real fancy with your walkway, the middle path of 3 blocks could occasionally have some grass blocks and some trees growing on them. That's true. I don't know if I'm going to get too fancy with it. I think if I do end up, like, paving it down the line, I'm going to just that. If I do end up doing like a paved path down the line, I might be more particular with like elements like this and actually figure out how it should be done properly. But yeah. I don't remember how far that went. It doesn't matter. I was a little quick on one of my swings there. I almost didn't make it. All right. None of this has to be particularly done in any sort of way, but I'm just the kind of person who will do it anyway. It's like when I was doing the Fire of Ascuron before, and the ground floor was designed to be a mess, like not a pattern or anything, but I still was like very careful about how I was doing it. Alright, so I think everything here is set. The walkway is all pathed. I guess I can unpath this section. And I think this is the last bit that I have to fix. And then I can start putting in like my stairs and stuff. This microphone arm that I have has gotten noisy more recently. It used to make no noise at all. Alright. Let's go ahead and start on the far end of things here. And then start putting our stairs in. And all I know off the top is that I'm going to try to match the style of the bridge. So these stairs, stair elements and stuff will probably be actually shoot, I might actually just make the stair elements 6 wide. Because then if I end up doing the paved path, I can do it from here, and it'll just be seamless and match this. I would like it to not be night anymore, but I can't do anything about that. Yeah, so this isn't 6, this is 7, isn't it? That is. So what I meant to say was not that I would make it 6 wide, but make it 7 wide. So I'm going to go ahead and just dig out the parts that would be replaced. And I might have the stairs extend 1 block at the top and bottom. I'm not sure yet about that, so we'll see how... You need to die in the sunlight way faster than you do. That is inconvenient. That's going to be a lot of blocks down the line. It is, but I mean, this isn't even a lot of deep slate compared to what the server has. We've got a lot of deep slate. That's why the bridges are deep slate. That's why the walkway up to the spire is deep slate. That's why the spire is deep slate. That's why everything at Nova Swarm is deep slate. Deep slate is infinity. Let's bin a bunch of our stuff. That doesn't go there. Neither does that. What are you doing here? These go in the food chest. Oh, no, actually, I'll just throw it in there for now. I don't need that right now. What I'm going to need is we'll make a stack of the polished blocks, a stack of the bricks, or a few stacks of the bricks, rather. That should be all we need for the stairs. I think having them both should be sufficient. We'll probably actually do 2 stacks of the polished blocks, and then that way we'll have plenty. Not tiles, bricks. Yeah, so the outside of the walkway will be the polished blocks, and then the actual walkway will be the bricks. I didn't get stairs. Stairs are kind of the most important part, huh? Why am I writing stuff out for this game? Oh no. Yo, kind of when you mentioned it, I was thinking, like, that's a spot I've been at in life. Like, just the deep need to do more D&D games of, like, different styles and whatnot. I don't actually know if I'll use the bricks unless I do expand the thing. So, literally can't play this until one of my current campaigns is over because Chrome can barely do it 2 days. Yeah. Let's see. So this is sort of how it is and how it will be. And then we just do more stairs. And more stairs. And more stairs. And more stairs. So, and then I'll probably do a lamp at the top and a lamp at the bottom. And then if it's like an individual bit like this, I would just do like a single lamp on the single blocks, because that's the only thing that could possibly make sense anyway. Like that. I do think, yeah, looking at this though, I don't like that one gap, so I probably will make these stair things come out at least one block like this. And then just breaks. And then do the same thing on the top level. But even then, I think I would just do like the lamp on this center block here still. Yeah, if I'm going to do that, only having it go out one kind of looks weird here at least, I think, but I don't know. I do think down the line I probably will. I mean, maybe even later tonight, I will pave, or at least start paving the roadway. Because then it won't have like the weird disconnect of going into bricks from dirt. Because that is kind of like a weird transition. But yeah, otherwise, I think we're on a good course here. Let's see. So, want a fast campaign level up every time you complete a main quest. That would be a fast campaign, probably. Depends on how long it takes to complete a main quest. What a main quest is. That's actually not too different from the pacing that I'm using in one of the campaigns I'm running, but the main quest is kind of always being sandwiched between a lot of like personal quests that may or may not have a level caught up in the process as well anyway, so okay, so this is going to be an interesting one, because I have to figure out, I think the first starting point is that I could have literally, I truly didn't even have to do that. That did nothing. Just starting kind of there like that. Yeah, personal quest is something I don't want to like skip out on because it's what makes D&D characters. But also Cyberpunk sooner. Alright, and then I think it's going to be like this. Now, do I... No, I don't. Hold on. Yeah, so this will be level with that far side over there. Honestly, since that goes right into... Like, it's got this short gap of path and then goes right into that walkway. I might just have this whole section be paved right off the bat anyway. I want to go double check on the bridge and see how that looks, because it's been a while since I've looked at it, and I want to make sure I'm doing them kind of the same as one another. And the more I see like this sudden separations with the stone, the more I think I need to just pave the whole pathway. Okay. So initial landing, actually 3 before the stairs. And this. Okay. All right. Let's head back over there and see if we can make sense of what we were just looking at. So what we're going to be looking at is something that's more like this. Duh, duh. Nope, that is not what I wanted to do. I'll be back. Well, I'll see you when you get back, man. Alright, I need to look at it from over here. We've got light post would be there. Cut out part of this, so instead of going up 2 stairs, it's only going up 1. I think it's roughly like this. I don't actually like bricks continuing on the edges like that, so I'm going to change that, and I will probably change my bridge to match. And the bridge actually has, hold on. Bridge actually has this kind of a thing going on. It's got 2 at the bottom. Can you people stop? Now what I'm thinking is maybe I do just have it go another step though. And completely match the bridge in that way. Because if I'm going to keep it going anyway, then I don't have to even match, like I don't have to build into that land. You monster. Don't even think about it. Yeah, because if this is going to go up 2, this is where the stair is, then this is actually going to come up here. That is going to be, so now this should cut these out actually, and put one of these in here. Now we should be looking at something that is yep, that is exactly what we need. That is exactly what we want. And that is how it's going to be. Then on the other side, the bricks are 5 wide, so they go all that way, and then I think that'll come out like that, and we'll get some like that. And on the top side here, we'll get stairs. We'll get a brick. And that is our bridge side. Then I'll just need the walls, which I didn't bring any with me. We'll just need the walls there. And that'll be sort of how it goes. Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. I understand what I'm doing. And one more thing I do want to double check is how far... Let's see. Actually, I know exactly how far it is. So the supports... how far between the supports is what I'm trying to figure out. And I know what I need. Yeah, so an actual paved road won't be super crazy heavy on the bricks compared to that bridge structure that I'm doing. That'll be the biggest expense of deep slate. Anything else would be pretty minuscule. So I need brick walls and I need polished walls. Let's just check my blocks, see if I have some of those. I'm going to do more. So bricks, I'm good on for a while, probably. For a little bit, at least. These I'm going to need a fair amount. The polished, I don't need as much. Okay. Oh, those are different things. That is polished stairs. I don't think I'm ever going to use those. Can I turn them into... No, I can't turn them into anything. They're one of the problem blocks. I'm actually going to need more deep slate bricks eventually anyway, so go ahead and do that. Throw those in there. Pop out here. We'll go ahead and put away some of our trash. And then get out there because it's going to be daylight soon, which means prime opportunity for crafting without interruptions. All right. Yep, so you can see here between these two midpoints of the supports, there is the one thing, and that's the intended distribution. Here, there's two, but that's just because the size, the length of this bridge kind of called for it. So, still works out. I didn't bring any lanterns, but I'll just do that later. If I'm trying to match the bridge, honestly, I would probably want to have these little wall elements. So these side bits would actually be taller. It'd be like this. And then the first lantern, like using this as a basis for the distribution of lanterns on the stairs. The first lantern is actually in front of the stairs. But that's just because that's the edge of the bridge. So I'd probably more likely put it at the top of the stairs, and then let's go ahead and put the polished wall here. Yeah, so maybe at these points, like this, and then, yeah, because stairs, not stairs. Stairs, not stairs. And like this. I think I'm good with that. Is that right? Yeah, because it has like the two in front of the stairs. Yeah. And that would mean at the top it would get another one and then an empty space. All right. So that's sort of the archetype for what the stairs would be. And then the spacing for the lamps is 4 in between. So here 5, but again, can't be helped. And it's the stairs, so it has room for being different than the bridges. these ones, I don't know if I'm going to mess with just yet. I don't think I would... Yeah, for a single stair, I think I would do it on the stair block, because otherwise it seems like it'd be a little weird. Okay, so that's kind of how these stairs should look. Like that. Didn't I just say I wasn't going to bother with this yet? um... Yeah, because if I did it on the edges there, it would have 3 in the middle, which would be fine, but I think this works. I don't think I would do walls on the walkway, but I will kind of maintain this little section at the stairs. So I think that works fine. I might do just cap it off with a wall, maybe? Nah. Yeah, before too long, these will just be connected anyway, so not too worried about that. I'll go ahead and just make sure we have this one uniform as well before we continue on, because uniformity is an important aspect of what we're going for. Now, something I haven't talked about yet that I am tempted to do is finding a good way to bring deep slate tiles into this mix, because I really like the tile blocks. And I thought I might make the road out of tiles initially, but then I remembered the bridge isn't tiles, and having that transition from bricks to tiles would look weird if I did like the walkway with tiles. So what I might do is replace either the inner 3 or the outer 2 with tiles and have that on the roadway as well. I feel like having the inner 3 would work better, because then the outer ones and the walls are still going to be the same block type. The stairs, is there a tile stair? I'm not actually sure if that's a thing, but we'll have to see. Okay. We'll get there when we get there. For now, yeah, I think these look fine. These are okay. I'm all right with these. This is shaping up. Now this one, because this is like 1-to-1 the same as the bridge, we would do the lights in the same positions, which starts with it only having this gap of 2 at the stairs. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. But then the walkway will have them evenly spaced 4 blocks between, and so on. But just to have this kind of set up as properly as possible, this is now as complete as it can be. No, it's not. Because it should also have stairs, 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 stair. Okay, that is as complete as it can be. Now, I'm going to run out of some blocks before too long here. I'm going to run out of the polished blocks, because they are the sides of everything. This part won't have steps leading off of it. So I'm going to see how the supports would shake out going up to this point. And then going from here to the stairs. But here's what we can go ahead and get started on. Is the stairs over here. Although before that, here's, you know what? Something I'm going to do. I'm going to hate figuring out this part. This part is easy as dirt because it doesn't have to be clean and perfect. It can just be whatever good enough. Shoot, maybe this side I just leave dirt. Maybe I just leave it dirt from here going into the grove, but then starting at sort of this bridge part, that'll be, you know, from there on will be the paved road. I think that'll work. I think I would be happy with that. So now, I don't know why, but I want to get rid of that. Now I figure out where the stairs are starting. And I think the stairs will start here. Didn't mean to get rid of one of those. One of those. So obviously that. Because this is going to be bricks. This is just bricks. You go right away. I'm going to get rid of this one as well. So that needs to be there. What do I need to do here? I need platform of... We'll actually bring this out one further. Because I think that'll be easier to reconcile in this moment in my mind. So this will go out that far. And then... Let me look at it from this side. The next block... Am I recognizing my own situation here properly? I think that block should be stairs then. A lot of witches out here. That should be stairs. Is it really? Whoops. Yeah, it has to be that. And I can double check that by going over to the other side, which I've already confirmed to have been built correctly. This way I don't have to go all the way over to where there's, okay, yeah, it is 3 and then stairs. And the stairs will continue as far as it has to go up, basically. It's not gonna... I wonder what you hit him with. Probably a healing thing, huh? Because if it was poison, I think that heals zombies. I think that... Okay, so yeah, I don't have to worry about doing this, because I'm just going to build blocks on top of this anyway. So the only thing to kind of figure out for this is going to be the fact that it's going to be taller than any of the other, like any of the bridges stairs. So I'm going to figure out how that looks on the side, if it's just... Yeah, I'm going to have to figure it out. I'm also going to have to see how high this needs to go. So that's one up right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It needs to go 6 higher. I'm going to use this to just kind of plot this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You stop it. Oh, look what you've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's the elevation it needs to be, maybe. With lack of a better material for this, we'll go ahead and start using this to measure it out. This is higher than I need to be. You don't matter. Stop it. You're not part of this. Bullying spiders now, apparently. Don't even think about it. Yeah, so this needs to be... Like, the actual base of the bridge needs to be here. In this level. I don't need this anymore. I already know that That's right, so I don't need to connect all this stuff. This is as much as I need. So I don't know why I started pushing that. That made no sense. Good enough. All right, so yeah, I need to figure out if I'm going to be fine with it looking like that all the way up and then just do a support starting at the top. Or maybe I have this entire stairway be solid. That might be the way to go. That might be the way to get it to look the way I need it to look. So I'm going to need to go and get more material. So I'm going to go over to the spawn teleport. Head over to Nova Swarm HQ, and then I know that's technically right, but it feels wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna head over to Nova Swarm HQ, grab some more materials, and then I think start building that bridge, or continue building the stairway. The bridge part of it actually will come after. Let's see. Dirt. That'll solve some of my issues. Alright. To the teleport room. I've somehow been going for an hour already. Or, well, yeah, about close to it at least. I did have a slightly late start. I was getting some things sorted on my end. Let's see if there's been any incredible new updates here or not. Probably not. I don't think everyone's been playing as much, but I think Ellie was the one doing the map stuff. I feel like the only Novasor member I've seen in Minecraft lately was Rig, and he was popping in last time or two that we were streaming in Minecraft. You know what I could do? I could swing on over by the HiVECORE Discord and see what Dragon is up to. I think while we go through this portal, I'll go ahead and do just that. What are you doing over
What's
here?
up, dude? What up? Ezebiel's here.
How's going?
It's going, dude. We're talking about dying. We're talking about YouTube censorship. We're talking about Hero King Soul suffering. Good
Oh
times.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's real real upbeat.
Yeah, right? It has to be. Also, where are you on my screen? Why are you off screen? What the hell? Oh, I got you. What the hell? Oh, you're
What have you
huge.
done?
No, no. There we go. Look at that. Look at that guy. Make you a little smaller first. There we go. What are you up to?
Not much. Just continuing my uh my road to Atlan Grove.
Okay, it is Atlan Grove you're working on. All right, fun, fun.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out how to kind of continue to use that bridge design
Oh, the one
in
that Nova Swarm kind of put everywhere, and then you learned how to make and all that stuff.
yeah,
That bridge.
that is the one.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was peeking on your stream briefly because I saw you were on. I was like, okay, well, he's doing something clearly. Who's making dinner?
Someone.
Someone.
Let's
This
see.
is fine, right? It's kind of hanging off, but yeah, what were we talking about, guys? I forgot. I lost my train of thought already. Thanks, as way to go,
Well,
man.
you know, it is what I excel at, interrupting people.
Yeah, what's on your mind these days?
Um, D&D.
Do you? Oh, typical. Okay, yeah. Why did I even bother asking? I should have known that.
It's I was actually talking
Oh,
to a buddy who's in my chat,
zero
who,
G.
yeah, runs a couple games that I play in. And
Oh,
he's
fun.
talking about doing a Cyberpunk Red game soon.
Cyberpunk Red. Oh boy.
Yeah. It's the one that I've been interested in checking out. I just didn't want to do something so different from the kind of games that I'm used to without getting a chance to like learn it as a player first.
That makes sense. Yeah, I feel like unless you are the one in the group that wants to play a certain system, trying to get into a game as a player is probably the best way to do it. That way, you learn from someone who already learned.
Yeah.
I
I
was
feel
actually talking
like
about that earlier. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like kind of getting little impromptu mentorship going on as a player.
yeah. Um I feel like the only reason I didn't have to do that with D&D is because I had already played similar systems to some degree when I was younger. So I was
Mm,
already slightly familiar with how the games worked and stuff. So when 5e came around, I was able to just kind of jump into it in the
fun.
DM seat without too much difficulty beyond, the inherent difficulties of trying to DM the system in general.
Yeah. It also helps that it has a is a relatively easy to learn system, anyways, right?
Yeah.
The basics of it, at least. Man, you guys are. I haven't really told anybody, but I've completely changed the mechanics of Dungeon Core from what you guys saw. So
Oh,
rather because somebody gave me some feedback that it felt a little bit like a D&D module, and it didn't necessarily have its own identity, which man, I spent like an entire weekend just thinking about that. It's like, well, shit. Like, can't be having that comment coming out this early. So I was thinking about, it's like, how do I want to do the system then? Because I figured initially that, if I made it kind of D&D like, but without, doing it like a full on reflavor, then that would be probably acceptable and approachable, right? But then after hearing that, I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to rethink like original ideas of, or not really original ideas, but more original brainstorming of what kind of mechanics would I want to see, I guess, used in a sense.
Mhm.
So, have you ever played Savage Worlds?
I have not. I haven't even really looked at that one at all.
Okay. So I was looking into, okay, well, if we, how, so D&D has stats, right? Flat values for stats, which also are then used to derive mods. And then dice rolls, it's really just the D20, and then equipment, feats, and maybe some items use the non D20 dice, but oh, and then health points or health dice, right? You got hit dice. But outside of that, where else are dice used and flat values used? Am I forgetting something? You might know.
Um,
I feel like that's kind of it, right?
that is about it. Like, there's like weapons and spells, right?
Yep.
You've got your hit dice, and I think that might be it.
That might be it, right?
That's
Yeah.
that's the only
So,
stuff that comes to mind out in the moment, at least.
yeah. And I know there's a sick illness that goes on within the D&D community where people own more than multiple dice sets
Hmm.
that I feel like they don't really get the use that people might like to see. I guess with D&D it's, you know, I don't know. I was thinking, it's like, man, this is a tabletop RPG where you're rolling dice to make decisions, and it's outside of that. It's mostly like role playing and decision making and player interaction, GM interaction, and all that fun stuff. You're not really rolling as much dice, or at least when you are, it's like inflated due to features that are like roll 17 dice, aha, go. So I don't know. I was thinking, it's like, okay, is that really the system I want to kind of follow suit with, or do I want to try a little differently? So yeah, I changed a bunch of stuff, so we'll see. We got, I think, what, 2 more weeks before we do our next play test, right? So we'll see how it goes. You guys have to let me know.
Yeah, I think that's a fair like way to look at things. Like people like rolling dice, and like you said, there's a lot of dice that go unused. Like the D12 is like the barbarian die in
Exactly.
D&D 5e because it's their hit die, and if they use one of three, no, one of two weapons out of
Yeah, that's kind of
a
it.
couple dozen weapons, um, the D12 doesn't really get any use because like there's not really any spells or anything uh, that really call upon it to any
Yeah.
significant degree. So,
And then like I hate personal preference, but I don't like the frequency of a D4. I feel like the D4 is like the retarded child of the dice set. I don't know why it gets used so frequently because it rolls like trash, right? When you're rolling dice, it's the most unsatisfying dice to roll. I don't know. So yeah, I'm thinking. So I decided to, instead of doing flat stats and modifiers derived from stat values, I'm doing stats derived from dice, as in training slash proficiency slash potential, and then
mhm.
the flat values is really just going to be coming from what you learn as a character through features. So it's like, hey, what you want to train into, what you want to learn, that's what you're going to be guaranteed to have a certain degree of proficiency via flat value. Whereas anything that requires effort or action is a dice roll based on dice roll and like a degree of potential. So I don't know. I'm liking the system. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah, the big challenge here is then just the hundreds of features that I gotta work on still. Not really even work on, just convert. But Yeah, I've been obsessing over that for like the past month and a half, 2 months. So I actually took like a little bit of a break from it this week. Just like I'm gonna veg out and play some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I see this creeper far away, minding his own business. All right, this track, I think we've heard it enough. God, what is this? This is like an ambient track. This is also an ambient track. Meow, 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 meow. Man, it wouldn't surprise me if I got copyright strike already on YouTube for that. The pros and cons of automated systems. Let's go. Yo, shit, Doris, you usually have some interesting. Oh, okay, never mind. That's not the creeper. Oh, you fucker! I slid off the ice and he pushed me off. Rude. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Shadoris, if you're lurking around, you usually ask some obscure question. You got one for me one of these days? Can he reach me? Oh, he can. Clever zombie. Hmm. You played Fallout, didn't you?
Yeah, I played a fair bit of Fallout.
Yeah, I know you played Fallout 4 a bit. Just a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of got my start with Fallout 3, as I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
And then, New Vegas, and then Fallout 4.
So here's an interesting question I got for you. I saw this video not long ago talking about kind of like the design differences in Fallout 3 versus Fallout 4. And I thought it was super fascinating because the message was, you know how in the Fallout community there's kind of a wide understanding or wide, I guess, how do I want to phrase this? Like a lot of people, I feel like the consensus is that a lot of people prefer New Vegas due to the, I think, variety of like branches that you can go into, or like not branches you can go into, but the there's a sense of like choice and variety, and it's a bit more action packed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other people, or the same people who say New Vegas is really good, say Fallout 3 feels a little too linear, or doesn't have as much like choice consequence or something like that. I feel like
Mm.
was the message. I always felt like Fallout 3 was the more superior one because it had a much more controlled environment, and you do have a lot of, gosh, how do I even explain it? Like I always felt like New Vegas kind of forced the way I play, whereas Fallout 3 let me do what I want, in a sense.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
if that makes sense.
interesting. Um,
Because
well,
Fallout, right? Fallout 3, the main story is kind of short if you focus on it,
yeah.
but the map is still huge. And like the most memorable times I can think of in Fallout 3 are, there's all these non-main story quest related locations that I remember in Fallout 3. Whereas in New Vegas, I feel like everything I remember from New Vegas is somehow associated with just the storyline. Like it doesn't deviate across the map. And like I barely remember the New Vegas world outside of like New Vegas, how the surrounding area of New Vegas was just completely barren and boring, Whereas
Yeah.
Fallout 3, I remember the tunnels having their own vibe. I remember Tempany Tower. I remember Megaton. I remember Rivet City. I remember the DC area. It's like I feel like Fallout 3 had a more memorable environment, but I know the consensus again in the Fallout community is like 4 was somehow better.
I think 4
Or not
had
4, 3.
or
New
New
Vegas, New Vegas.
Vegas had some good had some pretty solid writing behind it.
Yeah.
And I think the part where um New Vegas thrives is not in the main story at all, but in the faction stories
Okay.
or just like the factions in general.
Sure.
Because New Vegas was kind of the like in 3, you could kind of uh pick a side here and there, but like it wasn't a big part, like a main aspect of the game. Like, I mean, honestly, in New Vegas, it wasn't even doesn't even necessarily feel like it's a main part of the game because you could pick to side with the NCR, you can pick to side with
Yeah. I guess there's
the
that feeling of choice, right? That comes from that
yeah.
faction. Maybe it's because I don't know if understanding a degree of like the illusion of video game design, right? It's like you were kind of alluding. I think you were alluding to how like even in New Vegas, it doesn't like choosing to side with NCR and choosing to side with Caesar or the
Mhm.
Roman Legion or whatever it was called. They're basically the same. It's like coded. The code for following one or the other is kind of the same in a sense, but the flavor is different, right?
Yeah.
And then
Um like
New
it
Vegas, bro.
it's interesting with the factions, I think, because like in New Vegas it only matters so far as like that epilogue, right? um and like New Vegas is still kind of happened in a time when it was okay with open world games to have a point where it ends and there's
Yeah.
no continuing the game, which I'm not a
Mm.
fan of, um
Which
but
part? The not being able to or being able to?
not being able to, like, even if I finish the story, it's like, let me continue in the
Right,
world
right.
with no more main quest. Like, don't make me
Yeah.
go back and still have that quest in my quest log to just like finish stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm with you on that.
but I think I think that game in general really thrived on the factions and how they kind of um, changed what you have access to and stuff like that. And um, I don't really remember anything of the sort with 3. 3 felt very much like I start the game, I'm going to choose how I'm going to play the game, but the story and what I have access to is largely going to remain the same. Like I
Yeah,
might
that's a
make
fair point.
decisions like the Megaton decision and stuff like that, or like the decision at the end before like any of the DLC stuff at least. Like the main stories ending stuff. It's like you get the decisions there, um, but it's not like changing how you can play the game or anything.
Yeah.
Whereas New
Yeah, I
Vegas
feel you.
did add
Okay.
that kind of like, if you side with these guys, you'll get access to this, but you'll never get access to this other thing. And then I feel like
Mm,
4 kind of took that concept and just kind of dropped the ball because they tied the factions into the main story.
sure.
Because like you with 3, you had a very notable main goal,
Yeah.
um which it's like find your dad, and then that kind of evolves into like the whole Project Purity thing. With 4 it's find your son, and then it's like do whatever your boss tells you to do.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, yeah.
um
Okay. I can see the argument there. Yeah, there's definitely differences in the design that I think different people lean towards. So nice.
Hmm. Yeah, I think 4 definitely would have felt better. I still like 4. Like it, I can't.
Game
I
wise,
have
it's good.
exactly, yeah. Like I have trouble going back to some of these older games in certain series that I like,
Yeah.
just because like the later ones revamped stuff and made game mechanics so much nicer. It's like that's why I still enjoy Metal Gear Solid 5. Like, you know, even though it was literally like they didn't finish the story that they were writing, and all that stuff, but like the game mechanics are just so good. I will still go and play that game. But then, like, if I try to play Metal Gear Solid 1, I am going to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
As like, if I try to go back and play Metroid on the NES, like, I just recently was dabbling with Metroid 2 on the Switch because they have it on, like, the Game Boy emulator on there.
Okay.
And it's like, man, old games are hard. But,
Yeah, but
I mean, you know, um, either because of quality of life changes or just the fact that, you know, if a game was hard back in the day, it meant you were going to play it longer. And, you know, in the case of like arcades, then they're going to make more money off of them and stuff. So,
well, that's true for arcade games, but not necessarily true for like the old school console games. I think it's just, yeah, that's a good point. I feel like, no, I think the difference now is that gaming is a bit more generally catered to like a more casual audience nowadays.
yeah.
So, like we can see that with like almost all of the most popular games. Where does it come from? It comes from mobile, where people are just kind of casually chilling and playing. We see like Minecraft is huge, right? Which is a pretty chill, casual game. We see Fortnite, which is basically just a battle royale chat room, or at least that's what it looks like from an outsider's point of view. From for me at least, because yeah, because they got all like you play the character you want, you run around, you shoot some guys, and otherwise you're just goofing with your friends, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas back then, gaming was pretty niche and like it was less of a business and well, it's always a business, right? But it's the you had to really have a certain degree of passion to get into making games back then compared to now where it's super accessible. Oh my fucking god. Fucking creeper. I'm just waiting for the day where I can type in an AI prompt and it'll make a game for me. There we go. Then the world will truly be unsafe. I feel like it's already kind of getting here.
Let's see. What do I have to do still? Need more walls, more blocks.
What are we gonna call you when you start making voices like that? Comrade Zebelinski. I feel like I'm digging too much. How far am I? Which one's 0? This one's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Actually, wait. Didn't I see a message? Yeah, Rig joined. Is the Rig on?
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's see here. More, not tiles, polished.
what does that remind me of? Oh, it's like the claw, but polished.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it! Oh, fucking guys! I'm trying to run away. How frequently have you been playing Hunt on stream? Oh my god, I can't jump.
I've done it what? Twice?
For the
Last
event recently?
a week or two. Yeah, I was playing with Jalapeno Business
Yeah.
the
Oh,
last
did he join
time.
you on stream?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
and then me and him had over the last few days have just been playing it for the event, the quest line that they put out for the scaled ward. I didn't have any plans to
Yeah.
actually just do the whole thing on stream because I was just playing it anyway. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just finished that the other
Oh, you
night with him.
finished?
Yeah,
Oh, fun. Yeah, those quest ones, it seems like you can pretty much grind it out in within a week. Seems pretty accessible.
yeah, it's pretty nice. They obviously they give a lot less rewards than the like two
Big
month
ones.
events and the like the actual like holiday ones and stuff that they do. But
Hell of
I
a lot
do,
easier for them to put together.
yeah, I absolutely prefer the quest line uh, events myself, just because the other ones it just feels like work.
Grindy.
It's
Yep.
like
Well,
it's
we were
why
talking
I
about
stopped
casual
playing.
gaming.
Yeah, it's why I stopped playing MMOs and stuff as much as I used to. Like I would play Star Wars: The Old Republic a lot, and I had two
Mm-hmm.
problems with that game. One was that I was spending too much money on it
Sure.
because I was getting caught in their loot boxes.
Oh.
The other problem I had with it was that I felt like I had to keep going.
Yep.
Like
That
I felt like I couldn't
FOMO.
stop. Well, it's weird because it's a different reason than a lot of games, right? Like I would hit the end game that, and I wouldn't even really engage with like the operations, the raids and stuff as much as I might
Sure.
in like World of Warcraft or something. But even just going through the leveling process, it felt like I couldn't stop and do something else. I had to keep doing the quests and stuff and keep leveling because
You have to
when
keep
I was
up.
well, exactly, and it's like I want to try the different classes and stuff, and then they would boost that by giving you these little XP boost items, and you use them,
Mm-hmm.
and they put you on a timer, and then it's like, well, if I have that timer, I can't let that go to waste, so I have to keep doing this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and now they've they've kind of leaned more into the more casual approach to stuff. Leveling goes a lot faster now, but
That's not satisfying though. Like, man, it's all band-aid fixes, bro. I get what you're talking about. Same thing happened to me when I was playing Ark. And oh shit, I got phantoms. I gotta sleep. But no, yeah, no, they do it on purpose, bro. It's bullshit. It's ruining games, and like more and more people are realizing, like unless you're like in your teens or early 20s and you still have that mental energy because you don't have responsibilities that stress you out instead. It's like, bro, no one wants to sit here and treat this game like a fucking second job. Just so they can keep up to do the new content that comes out, to get the new items. I mean, it's nice that Final Fantasy 14 kind of has a bit of a balance going on with their release cycles. Like you have kind of know what to expect within 1 year of what's gonna happen. And leveling is pretty casual. There's multiple ways you can do it. Dungeons are pretty casual. You could always hop in and do your dealio. But yeah, some of these games out there are fucking just I don't even know how to explain it properly. But I do think more and more people are understanding like the FOMO burnout or just like the event burnout. It's like every month there has to be a new event, or every 2 months there's a new event, right?
mhm.
You gotta keep up. You gotta be that top gamer. But it's also because a lot of these companies cater their game design to one, retaining casual audience, but then also two, catering to the high tier audience, which is the people spending the money, right? The whales. So
Mhm.
anyone in the middle is just gonna get the short end of the stick, which kind of blows. Modern gaming. Let's go.
World of Warcraft is in a really weird spot when it comes to comparing the way that they run things to other things. Like obviously, um,
Do you still play?
yeah, a little bit. I
Yeah.
I anytime now I always have a problem where it's like they'll release a thing and a patch that adds more content or a full expansion or whatever, and then I'll join and I'll play and then I'll hit level cap or finish the story or whatever, and then it's like I don't care about rating. Like
Right.
I don't care. Like and it's wild because like if it was like it used to be and there was like raids and then like hard mode raids, I would be fine with that. But now there's with one of the expansions they did mythic raids, so it's like another difficulty level up. It's like okay, that's like the hardcore raiders
But
do that stuff.
it's all eye level gated, isn't it?
Yeah, but now like it's been a while since they introduced it, but there's mythic plus now as well, where
Oh,
like you get keys and those go up, so you get like +1 +2 up to like +15 or whatever, and the
okay.
that is just like every number I guess is like it's I don't know, is it slightly harder or something, but the rewards are better. It's like it if you look at Diablo 3, you actually get a really good example of that where they had the difficulties of it's like normal, tough mode, big boy mode, the hell mode, or whatever the names are, right? But then they did
Uh-huh.
torment, and then now it's like torment up to like torment 24 or some nonsense like that. It's like what?
Huh.
Why is this necessary? It's like I've never been able to comprehend why they do it that way. Like why does it need to be have 5,000 different difficulty levels?
It's because all the smart developers left Blizzard a long time ago.
Uh
I don't know. That's my response when it comes to Blizzard. That's a shell of a company if I've ever seen one.
it's it's a shame.
It is a shame. Yeah. Man, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right?
Uh, it's kind of sucks for like because like I don't have like the extra far back perception, right? Because like
Sure.
I always have like I always say like people become people at like 4 or 5 years old. Like before that, you're not a person. Um,
Okay.
I didn't become a person in the world of gaming until I was like 15. So like I didn't pay
Sure.
attention to stuff in games and stuff. I didn't even really like play games like properly. Like I wouldn't
And look at
complete
what's happened
games
in
or
your life
anything like
now.
that until around then. So it's like uh I don't have like the perspective of like StarCraft and Warcraft 1 and 2, barely 3, right?
Yeah,
Um
sure.
just like but like I can still see like the difference with Blizzard between like what I am aware of
What
and
do you mean?
where it is now. Well, just like I
Oh,
like
things have
even
changed.
yeah, even though I'm not like from back in the olden days of Blizzard.
Yeah,
Uh
it's perfectly possible to like understand and respect something without having been there, right? You
yeah.
see that with you can compare that with just history in general. I got you. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, like I never bought into Blizzard. So what was Blizzard did Overwatch, right? I think Overwatch was
Yeah.
like one of the first Blizzard games I actually spent time in. Like, oh, and a little bit of Warcraft 3. I never did WoW. MMOs, I just didn't have access to it back when it became a thing.
Mhm.
And my parents just wouldn't be down for that. Actually, no, I guess also back then I was into Ragnarok Online. That was my MMO of choice. But no, it's like you can see that they were making good choices and players loved them for it. Plus,
Mhm.
the whole they did. it's you can't deny that they revolutionized, the MMO genre.
Yeah.
Changed it forever with the whole questing system and the quest marking and whatchamacallit. Made it much more new player and casual friendly, which is why it became as big as it did. So, but yeah, I do find that one of the biggest lessons I've learned in the recent years is there's a there's a cyclical cycle to, or that's repetitive. There's a cycle to learning, right? It's you learn and then you execute it, which is you take action and you hopefully succeed. But I think the lesson that a lot of people don't get taught or don't learn unless they learn through experience is that after you've been successful for a certain period of time, you become complacent. You get used to it, and unless you are crazy ambitious and you're aiming for something, past the moon, then you're probably going to start finding yourselves repeating certain habits and well, just in general becoming complacent. But what happens is when you become complacent is that you start making small mistakes or you don't adapt, and it generally will lead to a certain degree of, I think, failure. But the key takeaway though is that a lot of people get stumped when they see that, hey, I'm on a decline or I'm failing. It's like, well, shit, this is the end. Everything sucks. My life's ruined. I'm depressed. End me now. Maybe that's why the suicide rate's so high right now. Who knows? But the important thing to learn from this is that failure is where you learn stuff. And that's like the best place to take something away to be successful again and repeat the cycle. And hopefully if you have a learning mentality, that's where you take that's where you try to avoid failures by learning and re-implementing that into success in that loop rather than falling into the cycle of becoming complacent and then failing again. So that's a mouthful, but yeah. Learning leads to success. Success leads to complacency. Complacency leads to failure. Failure leads to learning, and then the cycle continues. That's what I've learned. Also, you learn more from failure than absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I was telling Soul this earlier when it came to his big oopsie on his model or his little project. But yeah, you learn more by failing. Like your brain remembers that shit. That's why you remember all the negatives more likely than you are to remember the successes, right? Yeah. Rig, did I just see you in the tavern? You're hanging out in my chat, but you're welcome here, right? Yeah, I think I do see you up there. There's somebody's up there. As you're not in the tavern, right?
Nope.
Yeah, that's totally Rig up there. Nah, you do you, buddy.
It's all good. I'm just working on the roof, trying to actually frame it out a bit more.
Nice, nice, nice. What are you up to? How you
Trees
doing?
have grown. More or less just finished up work for the day and just cooling down after a little bit of a rush cycle in production. So it's
Yeah.
at least it's a long weekend for me, so I don't have to work tomorrow.
Nice. We all love that.
I believe this one for Turkey Days. I think Easter is soon, I guess. So
Yeah, we do have Easter. Was that this weekend or last weekend?
I think it's the one coming up. If
It
we
must. It
have,
must be.
Yeah.
Friday must have been Good Friday. Okay.
Ah,
Yes,
that
that's the
makes
day
sense.
where my family doesn't eat meat.
You one of those. Okay, okay.
I say my family, I didn't say I don't eat meat.
Are they like old school religious or what's the deal?
Kinda.
Okay.
Being from immigrant families, just they're old school European Catholic slash Christian.
Gotcha.
Seeing how that's pretty much all the culture that Portugal really has.
Mm.
That and ships, but that sailed a long time ago.
Yeah, that's another topic probably for another day when it comes to religious
Oh,
shit.
definitely.
It's always interesting seeing the takes of religion, though. Or at least I find it fascinating how people
Mhm.
fall into different categories either for themselves or due to past experience.
Well, yeah, of course. That's it's
How
because
it
there
works.
always has its own. There's always a personal interpretation. There is no right way. That means there is no right way. That means
Yeah.
there is no actual thing. If it's all up to personal conjecture at the end of the day, then is it really a thing?
Yeah, exactly, right? Man, you put that together quite nicely. I agree. I like that.
It's just as I often joke, it's when book clubs get out of hand.
Yeah, there you go. It's not a cult, guys. Stop. Uh, that was always my way, roughly my way of thinking too. It's like, well, if you really follow the teachings, do you really need to go somewhere to prove it?
Hmm. But yeah, as we said, we won't get into it here.
Yeah, that's that could be a.
It's a steep and slippery slope
It
when you
most
bring up
definitely is.
the topic, and everyone
Exactly.
has their own idea on it. But
Exactly.
yeah, that's for a different time. uh, but yeah, anyways, I'm just working on the roof.
Fun.
Yeah, just figuring out what I want to do. I'm thinking it might be neat to have like a little slope to begin with before it really starts to rise up, so that way we can have like those little like windows in the side of the roof
Oh,
that
that'd
you've
be
seen like
cool.
older houses.
Yeah, for the ventilation and whatnot.
Yeah,
You ever do architect design? Did you ever have to learn that with the modeling stuff that you do?
I have done it before, and there was a period where I was toying with the idea of becoming an architect when I was younger.
Mm.
But that involves good understanding of math skills, which is one of my barriers.
Yeah. Oh
I
man.
mean, I can do simple angles and stuff, but the problem is the prerequisites that they need you to have is like, oh, okay, if you're going to be an architect, you need to have calculus and calculus too. I'm like, well, I don't think I'll actually need it on the job, but it's a prerequisite for the things. But you know what? I'm just not gonna bother. I'm just gonna go make things where that shit doesn't matter. Video
Exactly.
games.
Because the programs do it for me.
Exactly.
Gosh, I used to want to be an engineer, and then I had a math teacher that just ruined math for me. And like I
That
was
was also
falling
a thing
behind.
too.
I didn't just like I tried to ask for help. They were
Mm,
like, "Well, you don't know this shit." Like they seemed so disappointed that I was asking for help. It made me so
yeah.
sad.
Like I funny enough, I actually did calculus and AP no, physics and AP physics during my school days, but I wasn't able to do a calculus at all.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. I'm in the same boat. I did AP physics and phys. Man, I had a great physics teacher. He made me
Same.
really just appreciate just how the world as we understand it works. Electrical, mechanical. I forget what the fluid physics and all that fun
Mm.
stuff. Ah, man, physics was a great class. I think a lot of the science teachers always were really great, and all the math related teachers were just shit. Like I've yet to have a good statistics teacher, which is interesting to me because statistically you'd think you'd have a good one in there somewhere.
You think,
Yeah.
but I guess the percentages are just a little off.
Yeah, exactly. It's a poor ratio. 1, 2, 3,
It's just
4.
you're looking for the anomaly, and all you get is the mean.
Oof, oof. Count on Rig to have the best puns. Oh man, I'm so glad we grabbed as much ice as we did because this ice has lasted me a good while.
Hmm.
This is great.
Okay, well, that's all nice and crossed out now.
As far as math and stuff goes, I figure like if I can't figure it out with the calculator I have with me in my pocket every day that I was told I wouldn't have, then it wasn't for me to figure out anyway.
That's a good point, bro. Yeah, I was told, this TI 80 whatever. It's like this one of a kind. It's smarter than the first spaceship that we had. Man, this was a godsend, and now my phone does everything that thing does and more.
And you no longer need the $120 calculator.
Right, man.
I
Uh,
think that was actually a part of the barrier for entry for me too, because we could not afford the expensive calculator. So I got a cheaper knockoff brand that worked differently, so I can never
Uh-huh.
follow the formulas properly.
Fun.
Because that is a different button sequence order that my teacher did not know and would not care to look up for or help me with.
Man, you should have gotten an abacus.
I know, right? Or a slide rule.
What's funny is I actually have a cousin who learned math using an abacus.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah, it's I don't know why, but I guess certain Asian background, you're like, you got the old school Chinese way. I don't even know.
I mean, it is kind of a flex if you could do it that way.
It totally is, yeah, but it's like who you flexing on? I don't know if I feel like people are more likely to recognize a floppy disk than they are abacus. It's like,
I mean, I've seen an abacus and I've used one like elementary school.
yeah, okay,
But
okay.
not like uh, a legit big one.
Part of me, the cynic in me is like, man, people are gonna look at an abacus today and be like, oh, is that a back massager? It's looks a
It's a
little. Oh
weird
shit!
clothes rack you have. It's tiny.
Yeah,
hmm.
it gets all the wrinkles out.
Yep.
Guys, creepers are. Why do they always seem to sneak up on you? What's the deal with that? Are they programmed to spawn behind you?
They're programmed to be creepy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you actually do you know the origin of how a creeper got into the game?
Nope.
There was a bug that happened that caused a pig to spawn with its body vertical instead of horizontal due to a origin point error in the
Okay,
model. And they're like, wait, we can do something with this
we
because it was
can.
like a vertical pig.
Oh, something out of a horror film just walking at you.
Yeah.
Did the pig explode when it got close too?
No, it was just they just worked off it. And it's like, hey, this could be another mob without actually doing anything extra.
Ah,
They recycled a mistake and like, wait, what if?
what if? Yeah, famous last words.
Yeah, if you look at a creeper, it has the four legs that a pig has. Its body's the same length as a pig is, or its body's as tall as a pig is long and has the same head. It's just
No
rotated.
joke. Oh shit.
Yep.
Really? Huh. I'm gonna have to go find myself a pig.
And do a little bit of mental rotation, and then
Exactly.
you'll be able to see it perfectly. You're like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah, no, that's some deep lore right there. That's pretty cool. The more you know.
Or at least that's what I've been told and read. Who
That's
knows if it's
believable. I believe it.
actually knowing game design and the pipeline process, totally plausible.
Yeah, absolutely. Not to mention, I mean, Minecraft originally was just like what, two guys, three guys? I forget.
I think
Totally
around there,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally believe that they would have taken a taken a funky idea like that and made it into something. Why not? How far is this one have to go here? Okay. Man, Silk Touch is a nice enchantment.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful, especially when you're dealing with ice.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oof. I fell. Damn it.
Oof. You're not playing Fall Guys, are you?
No.
Hey, Rick, since you've been playing, what is it? The Breath of the Wild. When does the new stuff come out?
The new game comes out on the 12th of May.
12th of May.
At this rate,
Okay.
I should be able to just finish it by that time.
Nice. You gonna find all the Koroks as well?
Oh no.
Wow, you got time. You got a whole month, bro.
Nah, I've tried that before. I'm not redoing it again.
Oh boy. Wait, did you actually finish though?
No, I gave up.
Oh yeah, I'm in the same boat. No way.
Same
What
with
was
all
it?
the
It was like,
shrines.
wasn't it like 900, 600?
I
Something
think it's
crazy.
900.
Yeah.
I think I did everything except for the Korax. I got like, I don't know, 200 or 300 before I quit.
Yeah.
I haven't actually played through the ending myself, but
Which one? The final boss fight or the DLC stuff?
the final boss fight. I've done oh, you know what? There is another thing I haven't done. I didn't do the what do they call it? The Master Challenge or the Heroes Challenge, or not the like harder difficulty one or whatever, but the super dungeon.
Trial of the Master Sword.
That's the one. Because like I wanted to, because it's like, oh man, the sword that's always on. Yes, please get that extra power, but I'm not good at video games.
I don't remember if I did it or not, or got to a point where I tried it too many times and gave up because I got too far and died.
It's like when I played Bloodborne and Elden Ring, it's like I do like 2 attempts at a boss. I usually die the first time, get it the second time. But the Trial of the Sword is like, no. It's like no checkpoints, nothing. Just if you fail, start over from nothing. Ugh. Gross.
I'd have to go back, but I'm pretty sure. I feel like I did it. I don't remember it though. What was the deal with it?
You start with nothing, and you go through like 50 floors or something. And they progressively get harder, like stronger enemies, more enemies, different like more challenging circumstances that you
It
put
was like
in.
a survival mode deal. Okay. Gosh, did I? I don't remember. It's been so long since I touched that game. It was a lot of fun though, man. It's rare these days for me to find games that will like suck me in and I get immersed. I'm just like, this is all I want to do with my time. I think,
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild was one. Xenoblade Chronicles X was like the other one on the Switch. Was it the Switch? I think it was the Switch. I don't know what happened.
The games that have gotten me recently. Yeah, I guess beyond like going back to games that I just always play, but like Metroid Dread was one for me.
Yeah, you've played
That
that
was
times, haven't you?
Dread I've played once, but I actually just played through Fusion again as well because they just
Fusion's
added
what I'm
that.
thinking about.
Yeah, Fusion is a Game Boy Advance one. They just put that on the emulator on the Switch. And I had to play through the game again. Because when I first got a Game Boy Advance, that was the game I had on it, and I played it all the time. Mostly because I was not good enough